What is up, YouTube? Fable Grimrow finally back with a video. I apologize again. I've been kind of neglecting my YouTube channel a little bit. Just been really busy with, life stuff, work, these actual card games that I play that I keep posting about, and like the holidays and stuff, things like that. So, I wanted to give you guys a Cardfight Vanguard deck profile that I actually wanted to, do, a month or two ago, but no, it never worked out. So I'm finally gonna give it to you guys today. It's gonna be a deck on probably like my favorite clan in Cardfight Vanguard is probably Angel Feathers. So I'm gonna give you guys the Celestial deck profile today, as you can tell from my spiffy little deck box here. So let me get it opened up. Now, Angel Feathers are a clan that utilizes swapping cards out of the damage zone. Really high utility, sort of you can get the card that you want. Celestials play their sub-clan within Angel Feathers, so all the Celestials have Celestial in their name and work with other Celestials. So they're a sub-clan within Angel Feathers, and they focus a lot. They're a lot more beatdown. They don't play like other Angel Feather decks like Metatron or Shamshio. They're a lot more just, beat you in the face kind of deck. So let me get started here. We have our starter, First Aid Celestial Peniel. She's a Forerunner like most starters. And then you can put her into the Soul to select a face-up Angel Feather. Or if you have Angel Feather Vanguard, put her in the Soul. Select the face-up Celestial in your damage zone, and Superior call it to rear guard. And then put the top card from your deck into the damage zone face down. This is probably the best out of her, Thermometer Angel, Turiel, Cure Drop, all the Celestial, or all the Angel Feather starters that they can have. For the Celestial deck, I feel that she's probably the best, being that she is a Celestial. And then the Superior Calling from the damage zone is pretty nice. So you can, grade 1, you can use her skill and get one of your grade 2s and call it to rear guard. So, it doesn't have to be the same grade as your Vanguard. So, pretty nice. Pretty nice for a starter. Trigger lineup. I'm running 6 critical triggers, 4 of the Celestial ones because, in case they get damage checked, you'd have Celestials in your damage zone. Now, instead of 8, I'm running 6 critical triggers, and that's because I'm running 6 draw triggers. Now, Angel Feathers, for all their damage swapping, utility, and searching and stuff, they don't generate a lot of card advantage. So I really can't support the, 12 crits or 844 as this deck is, it's still really offensive, but I can't support that trigger lineup because I need to get card advantage somehow, so I really need to get one of these draw triggers. And since my columns are going to be hitting for very high numbers, all of them magic numbers in some way, I don't need the critical pressure like most other aggressive decks do. So I don't have to rely on getting a critical trigger to push through my opponent because I'm going to be hitting for really big numbers across the board. So that way I can run 6 draw triggers to focus more on card advantage and guarding. 4 the Celestial draw trigger, and then I'm running 2 of the other vanilla draw triggers. By all means, run Fever Therapy if you like her. I'm just not running her in here because my set is in another deck and I don't have extras. But to be honest, I have never come across a situation where I needed to even use Fever Therapy to get that extra 3k to my Angel Feather Vanguard, as I'm going to be hitting for magic numbers across the board regardless, and the 3k is not going to matter a whole lot when my limit break is active. So just the vanillas will do. And I'd rather just, if they do get damage checked, I'd rather use her Counterblast for Sariel or one of my other skills as well, even though she's not a Celestial. And then 4 Celestial Heals. This, instead of Sunny Smile, as good as Sunny Smile is, you need Celestials for your special counterblasts. For Perfect Guards, my friend that also made this deck and probably watching this video right now, is running 3 perfect guards and 3 battle Cupid no seals because she wants to damage swap more, and you can sort of like search out perfect guards with your damage swapping. But I feel that 4 is just too necessary with some of the high-powered Vanguards that are out right now, the extra critical Vanguards, the break rides. If you don't perfect guard that Vanguard attack, you're going to lose. And in a deck that teeters a lot on having 4 or 5 damage, and like you need to have 4 or 5 damage to do anything, guarding is extremely important because 1 critical trigger or 1 extra critical and you're screwed. So 4 perfect guards. And then we have 4 Underlay Celestial Hesadiel. She's like your main booster, specific to Solidify Celestial Zerachiel, who's your main grade 3 in this deck. If you have a Zerachiel face up in your damage zone, she gets an extra 3k, so she's 9k. So she's your 9k booster. But also, if you're at Zerachiel's limit break, she'll get an additional 3k, so she actually becomes a 12k booster, which is absolutely fantastic for hitting numbers. So, 4 of her. 4 Marking Celestial Arabaki. She's your Angel Feather K clone, where if you have a Celestial Vanguard, I'm sorry, if she attacks and you have a Celestial Vanguard, she'll get plus 3k, so she's a 10k attacker, a lot like the Liberator Marin, K, one of those cards. So she's actually really, really helpful. She's 7k, so she's not bad by a booster, and then she'll be a 10k booster if you have Zerachiel Limit Break active, which is always nice. But she also has the effect that she can attack too, which helps a lot for early game pressure, or you can intercept and then move her up, and she becomes a 10k attacker, which is always nice for a grade 1. So very key card, very important. And then 2 Battle Cupid no seals to round out my last grade 1 spots. I run this just to, it's something that I will probably never ever call to rear guard, and so not being a Celestial doesn't hurt it because I'm never going to call it to rear guard, and if call it to Vanguard if I have to, it's whatever. And then when I guard with her, I can swap a card from my hand to the damage zone, so it helps me get a Zerachiel out of my hand to the damage zone and get a card that I would rather have. So, very nice. My friend runs 3 of these, and I do like her a lot in this deck. I wish I had the space to run a 3rd, but unfortunately I really don't. Grade 2s, Ragiel, 12k attacker if you have a Celestial Vanguard. Becca, 10k vanilla. As I said, this is really, really beat down, so you have to run really, really big guys. And then 3 Candle Celestial Sariel. She is pretty insane, not quite as heavily utilized in this deck as she is in like Metatron and stuff like that. But when she's placed on rear guard, you can counterblast 1. If you have an Angel Feather Vanguard, pay the cost. Search your deck for 1 Angel Feather, put it into your damage zone, shuffle your deck, and then put a card in damage zone and put it into your drop zone. Face-up card and put it into your drop zone. So she's sort of like a self-damager, but you get to search, which is absolutely insane when you want to get a specific card into your damage zone from your deck. So it's sort of like a reverse toolbox kind of thing. A lot of people use her with the Love Machine Gun no seal, so you would call her, put something in your damage zone, and then get rid of something else you don't want there, and then no seal to swap out the card that you got. Unfortunately, I don't really utilize, as really good as a skill is, because it's absolutely like a godsend for Angel Feathers, I don't utilize the skill a whole lot in the deck, because all I really use her for is just to, call her to rear guard, counterblast 1, get a Zerachiel in there, and then get rid of something else. Now, so I really only use her, once a game. Now, just to forewarn you, she has to discard she has to send a face-up damage to your drop zone. So if you only have, 1 damage, use her skill, Counterblast 1, put something in there, she has to get rid of the same card that you put into the damage zone because it has to be face-up. So you have to use her ability when you're at, 2 or 3 damage. So that way you have 1 for the Counterblast, and then another 1 to pitch if you want to put your Zerakiel in the damage zone. So 3 of her. Don't run 4 because it's too much, and she's only 8k. 3 is fine. Then we got 4 of the Break Ride, Prophecy Celestial Ramiel. She gets 2k when she attacks a Vanguard, and then her limit break is when another Angel Feather rides as a unit. Choose a card from your damage zone, put it into your hand, and then put the top card of your deck into the damage zone, and then your Vanguard gets plus 10,000. So you kind of get a break even with getting a free card from your damage zone and the top card of your deck into the damage zone. Very, very nice ability. And then the standard plus 10,000 to the Vanguard. She's very good, but unlike other Break Rides, it's not as important to get the Break Ride off in this deck. It's sort of just like a nice secondary option. I don't even say I want to cut her to 3 because she's really good when she goes off, but she's not as necessary, and I would rather have space in other areas, like that third Battle Cupid, as I said. But right now, 4 Ramiels is doing me great. And then the main boss of the deck, 4 Solidified Celestial Zerakiel. Limit break 4. During your turn, if you have a face-up Solidified Celestial Zerakiel in your damage zone, so another copy of her in the damage zone, all units with Celestial in your name get plus 3,000. So this is why you have to run 4 of her. She acts a lot like Neo Nectar's Arboros Dragon with the 3,000 buff. So pretty much gives to your Celestial, she'll give a 6k buff to all of your columns, which helps you hit for magic numbers all across the board. And then her other ability is Counterblast 2 cards with Celestial in its name, and she gets plus 5,000. And then she also has Lord, so she gets minus 2,000, or she can't attack if you have a non-Angel Feather, which, no reason you should. So, what are you going to have with her? She's 11k on her own. We'll say her, and we'll give her a Hassadiel to back her up. And assuming that there's another copy in your damage zone already. We have our 11k. If you have another copy, it'll be 9k, so that's a nice, 20,000 right there. But then her skill, we have all Celestials plus an additional plus 3,000. Hassadiel will be a 12k, and she will be a 14, which hits for 26, which is a fantastic magic number, as 11k Vanguards will need 15 to block, and then using her Counterblast 3 for plus 3,000, that would give her 31, so they would need at least 3, so 3 10ks will not block her, they have to go for more than that. Also assuming that you have the Break Ride 10,000 too, so it'll be 41, so yeah, they would need 3 10ks will not guard on a 11k Vanguard. So that 6,000 helps you a lot for magic numbers. You're going to be hitting 21, 23, 26 across the board. So yeah, the deck is absolutely insane for hitting magic numbers. The downside to the deck is that you... 2 things actually. You have to maintain card advantage, which is why I'm running the 6 draw triggers. And you're very rearguard reliant, so decks like Kagero, Eradicators, and any deck that will retire rearguards really hurts. Really hurts the deck, because you're gonna need you need your rearguards to attack and to get the boost, and you also need the field advantage. You just need the advantage. You can't just keep calling guys and eating up your blocking. So yeah, I tested with the deck. It's run very, very well for me. I'm very happy with it as it is right now. Not much I would change to it. Probably the only thing would be maybe swapping Fever Therapy out for the Vanilla Draw trigger. Not that big of an issue. And maybe cutting the break ride down to 3 for a third Battle Cupid. But right now, I don't think I'm going to do that because I'm pretty happy with the 4 Ramules right now. So let me know what you guys think about it. Peace out, YouTube.